Blog Talk Radio.
Alternative facts.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government. At 12:07 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, numerous unidentified objects of unknown intent and unknown origin were detected at high altitudes over multiple locations of Earth's outer space by the National Radio Astronomy Observatory, and these objects are presumed to be some form of controlled aircraft. It is not known if more of these aircraft will arrive, or if they will attempt entering Earth's atmosphere. United States citizens are encouraged to monitor local media outlets, as more updates will follow as information becomes available. The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government. Attacks by the undead have been reported in several states across the country. The dead are rising from their graves and are attacking the human race. At this time, it is expected that more attacks of this nature will occur in several other states in the next few hours. The intent behind their attack is unknown at this time. He has been observed that a bite or exchange of fluids is a method of transmission. This is an extremely dangerous situation if they crave the taste of human flesh. It is not known whether this event will last for hours, days, or even longer. Stay calm, as authorities have been dispatched to deal with these creatures. An all-clear siren will be sounded when this situation is under control. Pacific Standard Time, nor is detected a long-range nuclear missile launching. This missile is believed to be headed in the direction of all residents within a 400-mile radius of this area should seek a fallout shelter immediately.
Welcome to Within the Chaos with your host, Rodney the Viking Shortridge, co-host, Melinda the Raven Jackson. Want to give a big old shout out to the Facebook paranormal groups that allow us to post our shows on their pages and helping us to get the word out about all of our guests. Also, a shout out to the Connor sisters. Hats off to Misty and Ashley. They are the founders of S.O.S, Sisters of Salem Paranormal Research Society, and host of their podcast, Paranormal Party. You can find them on Facebook under Paranormal Party. If anyone would like to speak to Black Diamond Paranormal Society, BDPS, to discuss your paranormal questions or issues, go to our website at blackdiamondps.org or email blackdiamondps@yahoo.com. As always, our services are free.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight. You can listen in by calling 516-387-1922, or you can go to the Vibe Radio Network website at blogtalkradio.com/Vibe Radio Network. For deep within the heart of the Appalachian Mountains, I'd like to welcome everyone and thank you for listening to Within the Chaos. My name is Rodney Shortridge, and I'll be your host tonight. along with my beautiful Raven, Melinda Jackson. First off, I'd like to give a shout out to my cousins up in Ohio, Jennifer and Joe Shortridge of 222 Paranormal. If you get a chance, check out their talk show. You can find them on Facebook under 222 Paranormal.
Have your devices just randomly stopped working? Are you having IT trouble? Not to worry, Mead's PC Repair Shop can help. We also offer IT support too, including website hosting. We are now also offering full event management services. To find out more, contact our friendly customer service team who will gladly help in any situation. Just call 276-880-8900, or if you prefer, you can stop by our shop at 1089 St. Clair Street, Oakwood, Virginia, 24631 by appointment only, or by visiting the website at meadspcshop.com for more information. Thank you.
Well, howdy, we're back. I hope everybody enjoyed their Christmas and New Year's vacation, because I know damn well I did, and I needed it. How about you? Did you enjoy your Christmas vacation?
Yes, I did. Had a good time.
Yeah, well, you could scoot over the fuck on up here where they can hear your ass. She's sitting all the way back there in the corner. You think I had her in timeout or something? Well, tonight, I still want to talk about your little Christmas vacation. So what did you do for New Year's and Christmas and all that good stuff?
Well, for Yule, I went to a party. We did a ritual and had food and fellowship. And then for New Year's, I went before New Year's down to Norfolk to see my daughter, which I hadn't seen in forever. Had a good time.
Cool deal. You know what happened to me over the holidays?
What?
I ended up having 2 more damn grandkids.
Yay.
Both my sons, wife and girlfriend, decided to spit me out a little girl and a little boy. So I got another grandson and a granddaughter.
No.
Ain't that some shit?
I love babies.
I do too, but I got 5 grandkids. That's too many. Good God. But, well, I'll go ahead and get on it. Tonight, this is our 3rd year anniversary. And, of course, we're trying to stick to a tradition and keeping the Connor sisters on the show. So our special guests tonight are the hot, the steamy, the sexy, the love goddesses of the paranormal world, the paranormal party girls themselves, the swinging gypsies. Oh, no, Southern Gypsies. The Connor sisters, Misty and Ashley. They're the founders of S.O.S, Sisters of Salem Paranormal Research, and the hosts of their own show, blog talk show, or I know they got a show called Paranormal Party, and they are part of the Southern Gypsies. So there again, I was saying this is our 3rd year anniversary, and we're trying to stick to tradition, having these girls on. And I mean, yeah, they're special to us. They're great friends, but they're more than friends, they're family. I mean, we went past the friend shit. Now it's just family. We blood. And so I see that they're on here. I'm gonna go ahead and click them over and say howdy.
Hello. Oh my gosh, I love that intro. It was great. The swinging gypsies. I was dying laughing on that one, by the way.
That is it, the swinging gypsies. Ooh, I'm gonna have to start
Oh my Lord, that is so funny. Thank you for that, y'all. I'm serious. Like, that was so sweet, and we are like family now. We kind of done past. I mean, years and years we've been friends, and in the paranormal, it's kind of like it adds like 20 years to every year. Because nobody's like that anymore. It's like you hear people like are friends in the paranormal, then they're not friends and things like that. And so I think we've made it to like our 50-year anniversary or something pretty much in the paranormal, Rodney.
Yeah, we're already in our old folks' home. Watching all the spirits go by going, damn, I'm going to be next. So how was your holiday?
Oh my gosh, my holiday. I want to say first that Ashley's not on here because she had to work tonight, and I didn't know that. When we first scheduled, I thought it was her short week. She works at nighttime, so she called just a few minutes ago to say hi to everybody, and that she was sorry that she missed it. And so this is the first time I've came on here stag by myself. I'm like, wow, the shit we can get into, Rodney.
Oh, Lord, so man. That's a great way to start out the new year. Last year sucked balls, man. I need to ride the stag.
Rodney, you almost died last year. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Let's make this year better. Our New Year's is pretty good. I'm going to tell you how old I am now. I did go out and party Saturday before, so it was in between Christmas and New Year's. I went with some of my friends, and we went to this bar that literally was 1, 2, 3, and I never experienced that before until then. $1 for beers, $2 for shots, and $3 for mixed drinks. So we thought, let's get as much as we can in before 12. Oh, we were tanked and still have money in our pocket, and I don't even know. It was bad.
Yeah.
But then on New Year's, me, Ashley, and Connor, we went to a movie, and I fell asleep in the seat. That's so sad.
I had something to do with the party the night before.
I know. I'm telling you, like, I literally, I don't know. I was like an old lady that night, and I was like, well, I'll do. And then me and Ashley were like, let's go do some witchy shit afterwards. So we dropped Connor off, and then we were like, let's go do some witchy shit. And then all we ended up doing is driving, and then I fell asleep again. And so I didn't even get to do my New Year's stuff for my witchy stuff. So I screwed up all the way around. How was yours New Year's, Rodney?
And
is Melinda on here with us?
Yeah, she's right here.
I sure is.
Oh, hey, honey. Happy New Year's. What did y'all both do for New Year's?
Well, actually, we sat here with some of the Black Diamond members, and we sat here and had a nice dinner.
We really did. It was great.
Aww.
It was more of a potato dinner with turkey, but hey, that was some damn good taters, man. We had like 5 different taters. I thought that was some kind of, I guess that's a New Year's thing now.
That needs to be a tradition.
Yeah.
Well, maybe y'all are Irish. Like, okay, you know why Irish people, like my great-grandmother was like, I hate potatoes. And the reason why is because all she had when she was really, really poor was potatoes. So, like, they had to make them every way, like mashed potatoes, potato salad, potato whatever, fried potato. And she hated them. She would tell us. She was like, I hate a damn potato. Yeah.
Well,
maybe that's why.
Have you ever heard of the potato diet?
Yes. Yes, I have. I knew a man who was on a potato diet. And he didn't last very long. And the consistency, like, I mean, you're putting in and getting out the same thing as, let's just say. So he just, like, he didn't like it. He got really excited in the beginning about it. And then what happened was like, you know, he just ended up, like, he told me, he was like, I couldn't take it no more. Because I think sometimes they are made bland and stuff like that. I don't know. I can't do potatoes because I got the sugars. So it would literally kill me. I would be like, my numbers are crazy. So I don't know. I haven't done that. All I've stuck with is keto, meat. I love meat.
Yeah, I'm a carnivore too.
Yes, I am a carnivore. I don't really like to be a herbivore, but, you know, occasionally I guess you have to.
When if I'm stopped up and got shit, yeah, I'll become eat that grass. Got to eat it. Got to eat it. Grass food. Got to
get the greens, man.
Got to get the greens and slide all that meat out.
Oh, my Lord. I know. I love, like, I recently started. That is something we did New Year, like, new for the year, Rodney, as we went to, you know, I've been low carb forever because, you know, just trying to keep my stuff under control. But then I gained some weight back this year, and I was like, I really need to do something to kick it back in, and I couldn't get myself fully back on low carb. I would, like, take a day off or something like that. So we're trying this new thing, and we're trying to see how it works, and we're trying to see, and it's ketones that you drink, and it puts it in your system. And Ashley's never been on She's never been on this before. So she literally is, like, very aggressive. Because I don't know if anybody knows, but when you go into ketosis, you become very alpha. Very alpha, because that's what the cavemen used to get into, to, like, hunt and stuff like that. Serious, no joke. And so Ashley's coming home, like, talking to me, and I'm like, God, calm it down. Shit, you're, like, aggressive. She's like, I am not, but everybody says I am. So it's funny as hell, man. She's literally like, there's this one pack that has a shark on it. She's like, we're going to have to save that for the weekend, because if I take that and go to work, I'll go to jail.
Damn.
I know, but it's really cool. It's a really cool product. So I feel really, really good, and I got tons of energy. Plus, when you become alpha and you're a woman, you feel yourself, if you know what I mean. So I'm strutting around like a fucking peacock.
Damn. So I take it that's your New Year's resolution, to be strutting around like a peacock?
Yeah, actually, that was one of our things recently. I wanted to be able to invite that sexual part of me, because I did have it for a little. I had it none. Then, like, there was no sexual part of Misty, and then I did have it for a little bit, and then I lost it, and that was something that's something. I know most people don't say that. They don't say my New Year's resolution. They normally have shit like, I want to lose weight, I want to go to the gym more. Mine is to embody that sexual part. I really do want to, yeah.
So your New Year's resolution is to fuck more?
No, being sexual. Hold on. Ask Melinda this. There's two different things. Having sexuality is emitting, like, a oozing of the sexuality, right? That doesn't mean you're having more sex. Say it again, honey.
I said it's tapping into your inner self, your woman, your sexy.
Yes. That's exactly it. It's not see, that's what dudes do right there. When they hear a woman say, I want to be more sexual, they're like, oh, she's going to fuck more. That's not really what that means. That is guys, though. They're like, yeah, she's going to do it more. No, it means just being able to acknowledge I'm a woman and, like, put that out, that sexual. Yes, I want to do that this year. Yeah.
All right. Well, don't stand too close to me now.
It's very, like, it has been hard for me, because I don't lead with the sexual foot. I lead with a different foot, more of the goofy one. So it is kind of harder. I mean, Melinda probably knows what I'm talking about, because as you start developing yourself and you get more spiritual, that is one of the levels that come with it, We've talked about this, Rodney.
Yeah. So, What are you and the Gypsies up to lately? I noticed you all been staying really, really fucking busy.
Yeah, we have, like, God, we took a little break. I feel like we're not doing anything right now, but we are. There's, like, a lot of workings and stuff behind the scenes. God, I don't know if I should tell this, but I'm going to. Okay, so you probably saw on some of our Facebook pages and stuff. I'm pretty sure it was Facebook page, because that's how it was shared to get to me. And also, like, I guess, okay, we've been trying to build this. Actually, January 13th will be a year that the Gypsies have been together. And that's so we were in things before, everybody knows that, but officially the Southern Gypsies has been since January 13th, and it's kind of sweet, like we have talked about it, and it's our birthday getting ready to come up, and we can't believe all this happened within a fucking year. I'm not lying, like all of this. And you probably saw on our Facebook pages that we did share that we did have a crew coming in who came in for we had a Yule, a gallery reading, and an investigation that nobody knew about except the people who participated the night before the Yule and the gallery reading. And that was all, we had a film people there with us. And it was very humbling. It was very cool. I don't even know what the fuck to say. Rodney, I think we have a mutual friend, too. Lady Outlaw. Do you know her?
Yeah.
Tiffany Sparks. Okay. I got to meet her that night because she is also signed to the same company that we are, and they are doing something. Actually, she is the reason the Southern Gypsies actually are with them, because she came to stay at the house. Rhonda started talking to her, and she put her in line with this, production people with us. So she actually drove. She actually lives in West Virginia. I think she went down to Tennessee for a Christmas party and came back and brought some moonshine that night. So she stayed with me and Holly that night at the Nickerson Sneed. It was just me, Holly. Oh God, I got to share this fucking story. It's crazy, Rodney. Like, okay, you know that we stay at the Nickerson Sneed like every weekend, right?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so this weekend she was passing through, and Rhonda and Ricky were like, and they're the ones that own the Nickerson Sneed, plus they're part of the Southern Gypsies. They're one of the founders, and they were like, just stay there with the girls. The girls are going to be there. So it was me, Holly, and a lady outlaw was sitting at the table just bullshitting, really quiet, okay? And if anybody's been at the Nickerson Sneed, it's a big, long table. And we were just sitting there bullshitting. Holly had drank a little bit of moonshine. We were all just sitting in our onesies. It was Christmas time, just enjoying shit, And all of a sudden we hear ting, ting. Well, first of all, it got really, really cold, really fucking cold. So I went in the hallway to see if the thermostat was on, and I looked, and the whole fucking door was just open, wide the fuck open. Like, there was nobody there. Nobody came in. We thought, did the furnace turn off or something? So when that happened, we then, I shut the door. I talked to Ricky later, and he said that door had been trying to do that all day on people. Like, it was just open, like somebody was coming. But we had a lot of Christmas festivities that day, and I could really, in my third eye, see kids, and I could see the movement of magic, which anybody who knows about Yule, it's the most powerful thing, of the year. So you do, it pretty much is a big spell when you do your Yule log, when you carve your ruins and you're making your wishes for the year. When you do those things, that is a big spell. So if anybody can see where magic is, it kind of like is a flow. So anyway, so this is what's going on around me, and all of a sudden we're sitting here, and I feel that the door's wide open, and then all of a sudden we hear ting, 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 and I was like, we got wind chimes? Holly's like, that's not wind chimes. So y'all might have seen our live, too, because I was like, y'all need to fucking go live on this shit. We come around to the staircase that goes up, and the piano was fucking full-ass playing. Upstairs, the kids' piano. I've never heard that like that in my fucking life. And I got scared because I'm trying to lay down. When I lay down, I don't want no shit bothering me. And I yelled up there. I was like, y'all need to quit that now. Like it was some fucking kids. And all of a sudden you hear it stop, because it was like ting, 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 ting. And it would stop, and then you hear their feet. Don't, 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 don't. And I was like, I opened that fucking door. I was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here right now. And Holly's like, no, you aren't. And Lady Outlaw was like, oh, my God. And they went up there and investigated. I was like, fuck that shit. I ain't doing that. So we laid down that night, and it was so funny because Lady Outlaw could not sleep. And the next morning we woke up, and she said, I was going to leave y'all a note, because she kept seeing we put curtains on the back room, and that's our protected room. And they will come up to the curtains. We've seen it. They'll push the curtains out. They'll be right there. You'll see their silhouette, all this stuff. Well, all night long, I fell asleep before her, thank God. Because the last one to fall asleep is always the one that's scared. And she said they kept coming up. And I think she saw a boy. And he just kept coming up. And she was going to leave us a note. She was going to say, I'm out of here. I'm sorry. I got my shit. I left. But she would have had to go get her shit where the kid was. So she said I was stuck. Which is horrible. But the next day, I think it was the next day we were leaving, and everybody had packed up and left, and me and Ashley were just walking through and cutting off the lights. Rhonda, I think, had already left. She came by and saw us, and Holly had already left. And we were walking out, and Ashley, we were in that same room where the big table is, and all of a sudden it starts playing up there again. And Ashley's like, what's that? And I'm like, it's that goddamn piano. I was like, we're getting the fuck out of here, man, because I don't like it to be in my home turf. Like, I can read for you, and I can do all kinds of things, but when I'm trying to sleep or something, I just can't do it. I can't. I want you to leave me alone. That's my private time. You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of cool to actually have her there for that. She said that it scared the fuck out of her the first time, and she about ran out of the place. So that's kind of cool. She actually has for anybody who doesn't know who Lady Outlaw is, she actually is on, I think, some kind of moonshine stuff, and I think you need to look for her in the future. She's going to have a lot of stuff coming. Plus, she has her own brand on the market of moonshine. Yeah.
Yep, she sure does.
Yeah. She's really sweet, sweet, sweet. She's down home like us, Rodney. She lives on a farm. She, and if you listen to her story, it's amazing. Like, I hope I don't get in trouble by saying this, but she is more like us than you would ever realize, Rodney. I'm just letting you know. Like, the cons, the things like that. I mean, she is a great person. And then genuine, but she also, how she started doing moonshine, if you listen to her story, was to take care of her kids. And she just wasn't making enough. I think she has like 3 boys or something like that, or 3 kids. And she was working in a fucking bank. And she was like, I can't afford this. I can't take care of my kids. So that's how she started making moonshine, from what I understand from some of the stories she shared with us.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get her on the show this year. I know she's busy and always traveling around a lot. I keep up.
If you want, like, I can say something to her to head her your way if you want, or if you've already talked to her or whatever. I'll drop you a good word. I mean, she's great, Rodney. You love her, love her.
Yeah, I always wanted to meet her. I know where I met Lance and all other ones down there when we went to North Carolina when they had that little festival thing. I think she's supposed to come down, but she wasn't able to come down, so I wasn't able to get to meet her. But I got a question. You keep mentioning Yule. What is Yule?
Oh, my gosh. I know you wrote that question down, was going to ask me. That's probably on your list. I don't mean to bust you out, Rodney. You know that. Yule is, oh, Lord, honey, you're going to make me bring in religion. You're going to make me bring in all kinds of stuff. And Melinda's probably sitting there with a big fucking smile right beside you.
Yeah, because I celebrate it.
Yeah, I know she does. She's one of us. Okay, so this is the deal with Yule. Okay, so everybody believes that. I'm just going to give you a little synopsis, and I'm going to throw you a Bible verse out there, honey, and it's going to make it all seem really clear really quickly. Like, for years and years and years, I would see those little signs that said, put Christ in Christmas, and I was like, that's right. They're trying to take Christ out of Christmas, blah, blah, blah. I was really an advocate for that, and I still am. I mean, I believe that whatever you believe, you should believe. So no matter what I say, if your convictions is still to believe the way you believe, then by all means, the education is the number one thing that you should do. So I kept saying about Yule, and I watched this YouTube one time, and it was just this really Nordic Viking guy, and he was like, let me tell you about Yule. And and he blew my fucking mind. Everything in the Christian holiday is from paganism. It's because they were trying to convert the pagans over to Christianity. So every holiday that is in the Christian calendar is actually a pagan holiday. But what goes even further than that is the Nordic versions of it. And you bring in the ruins and the things like that. Everything that you have, from the colors to the tree that you pick, to what you do with your family, your caroling, that's actually wassailing. And they used to have alcoholic beverages, which we do at Yule when you celebrate that with us at the Nickerson's Knee. I make the wassail, and we go out and we wassail a tree, because you got to understand, you break it down to trees. A tree to a family that was really blooming was like their livelihood back then. You got to understand that tree would have gave them firewood if they cut it down. That would have made them be able to eat. The fruit that was bearing off of it, that's their food. So you want to wassail trees. That means to that spirit, the tree spirit, you are giving this ale, things like that, fruits that are in it. This is really good. This is like an offering, a blessing for the tree. We have actually wassailed the tree in the front of the Nickerson's Knee for 2 years, and I don't know if you've noticed, but that son of a bitch has grew. It's a monster now. And it's just good to do that. So anyway, that's what wassailing is, if anybody's ever had questions. But other than that, Yule is everything in the Yule log. That's where it comes from. It's Yule tide. During that time, if you go back to, Melinda could probably back me up on this, but it is where there is a father, a mother, and the coming of the sun, which is the brightness. It comes back. That's the longest day of the year, and what happens is then you're welcoming in the sun. Now, if you get even further in it, where the story of Christ and stuff, there is, in the pagan religion, there is different gods and goddesses, and they are ushering in a child. And this story was even before the Bible. So that really blew my mind. When I watched that, and even the colors, like some of the colors, like red, for example, some of them would put blood on the trees as an offering, and that's where the red came from. Or to decorate the trees was to give the offerings, the blessings. So this is where this all came from. Now, I'm going to really throw something in there, is in the Bible, there is a verse, and it's Leviticus, and I can't remember what, I would have to Google it. If anybody really, really wants it, I can get it for you. But it actually says, do not decorate trees and ordain them with, like, ornaments and things like that, which means...
It's in Jeremiah. It's in Jeremiah.
Is it Jeremiah? Okay. There you go. It actually says, do not decorate trees. So if you are a devout Christian and you are, like, angry that I'm saying anything about Yuletide, then I have to tell you that, by the way, I believe in Christ. I believe in the Bible. I believe in some of the Bible. I believe in the Old Testament and things like that, some of the altars and things, because that's things we do. But I'm eclectic, so I take from this and that. And this is one of those things that says, actually, you shouldn't be doing this in society. So it kind of throws Christians really on their like, throws them off kilter, because they always want to take and say, you're not supposed to go to, psychics and mediums and stuff because it's in the Bible, but it also says you're not supposed to decorate Christmas trees. So you can't pick and choose, you know what I'm saying? It just has to adapt for the time that we are in now,
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's what Yule is. You come, you celebrate, we give handmade gifts, we do some spells together, we do some wassailing, we have traditional foods, which would be the Yule log, which you're supposed to actually cut and think of the things you want for the coming year. Our year started in Yule. That's our start of the year. So the new year is good, but I had already started and set forth. And a lot of people will do pomegranate spells, which we have done before, which are you probably know, Melinda, when you use a pomegranate, that's a really, really good fruit to use in each one of those little things are like a wish, and it's good in fertility too. So that's a really good thing that we actually try. We incorporated in, people don't know this, but we had 2 Yules. One was for the public because we wanted them to enjoy it, and it was for them. And then we had a private one. It was just for us, and that was more of our more intimate, where we can do our own casting for the year.
And another thing for the listeners, Yule starts on the 21st of December and ends in January.
Yes, like some people go long. Like, okay, it is like, because it's a solstice, and sometimes we didn't hit the solstice. Like, we didn't when we did it for the public. That was not it. The 21st is when we started ours. That's when. And some people do go long, like Melinda's saying. We just did ours then, and then we were like, we're good. We're good for ours. But some people do celebrate it longer. She's right, yeah.
Do you incorporate the Holly King and the Oak King?
No, now I don't do that. No, we don't. We do, when we do our log, though, we do incorporate, like, we try to put holly and things like that on it. But we also incorporate our ruin stones, too, which I believe adds, like, an extra element. And I always think that people overlook those as how powerful they are. Those things are, I mean, you got to remember, these are, God, old. And all that energy that past, casters have put into it, magic, foreseers, all this stuff, has been put in these sigils. Pretty much they're sigils. And, I love to encarve my Yule log with that. But no, we don't do that. That's just something that we don't, just because we're eclectic. But I know, Melinda, you probably do. You incorporate more of the, probably God and goddesses and all that stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And then in the ruins, people need to realize that's the witch's alphabet.
Yes, the ruins?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're saying, honey? Yeah, there's a couple different ones. Like, I don't know which ones y'all go with, but I know there's witches' ruins, And then I know that there is also Viking ruins. I like the Vikings ruins. Say it again, honey.
Yes, you're right. That's correct.
Yeah, so I like the older ones just because, but Holly does do some practicing with the witches' ruins, and I've tried those. Like, I've been like, these are kind of cool. There's also another set in there. It has more in them. Not for sure which ones they are, but I know that it's the cool thing about it is, like, if you meet a Christian, not to say anything bad about Christians, so I have to keep saying this because I believe anything that gets you to the greater good, I believe that you should go with. So if it is, you believe that, I don't know, this blue cup is going to take you straight to God, then I believe you should believe in that blue cup. If you believe that your God or goddesses are going to take you straight to the great divine, I believe that's the way you should go. So, but the cool thing about what we are in, and that's including Melinda, is that you can be anything you want to be underneath this umbrella. You know what I'm saying? And it's just that you are acknowledging that there is greater and that you have a key in with maybe the earth and the bigger atmosphere rather than just being told what you need to believe. You know what I'm saying? You lock into that nature and stuff like that, which I think is really cool. I enjoy that part of it, you know?
So you consider yourself a witch, right?
God darn it, Rodney. You can't ask a woman there's three things you don't ask a woman: her age, her weight, and if she's a witch or not. I always get like this, but there are people that are very proud. Melinda's one of them. I know she is. Rhonda's one that's very proud. I am very proud, but you got to understand, as someone who would practice, it was a lot that we needed to cover. And we needed to be, and that must have been way in my heritage, because it kills me when somebody says, so you're a witch. Because everybody who hears that, they think, oh, my God, she's going to burn in hell. She is hanging out with Satan. She's, like, doing this and that and the other. And that's not the whole picture. So I am I guess a practitioner, I'd like to call myself, or a caster. Practitioner probably would be better because I practice in a lot of things. So that's what I would like to call myself. But if you had to come down to it, yes, I would take the label of a witch, yes.
Well, the reason why I ask that is, if you're practicing and you consider yourself a witch, then, and please don't be offended by me asking
That's
this.
okay.
How do you believe in God and the Bible?
Oh, my God, I'm so glad you asked this. Oh, my Lord. This gives me a segue into something that's so fucking wonderful, and thank you so much for asking this. Okay. So, I don't know if you've seen this, Melinda, but I am really tickled to death. If you ask Ashley, she will tell you she is a Baptist witch. There is, even on Instagram, you look it up, Christian witches. Oh, there is a big clan of them. And this is not just Caucasian women. These are Bible-thumping, you know, your Southern people who are just like, you know, that you would normally see you having these revivals and stuff are now turning to witchcraft. I'm going to tell you why I think this is, too, by the way. I believe that if you go to the Old Testament, and if anybody, this is a cool thing also, is that, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but one time I really, really I tried to study the Bible as much as I could. I used to deliver papers, and every morning this man would come on, and he was a preacher, and I listened to him for years, and he would take scripture by scripture and tell me what it meant. He wouldn't, he was preaching at me. It was learning the Bible. I was learning the Bible, and I really, really, really enjoyed it, and I think that anybody who picks a religion should do that. They should say, you know what, I want to learn as much as I can about this. Just because, you know, if this is what you're giving your soul to, your spirit to, you should do that. So I really, really like that. But the part that bored the hell out of me in the Bible was, if you ever, it might have been in Genesis, I'm not for sure, but it is in a part of it, that they would literally tell how they would carry their altar. They would set their altar up. They would do the incense. They would do the sacrifices. They would tear it down, what rocks they had, what soil. They went down to everything of how this altar was put up. When they moved, it was in Genesis, I think, because they were moving. So then they had certain ministers that would practice this and things like that. And then they would pick it up and they would move it. The cool thing is, though, there's no difference in that than there is in what I do. There's no difference. Psalms is just a book of spells. Hymns, when they anoint you with oil, that's the same things we do now. The only thing is when they get in prayer circles, same thing we do now. The thing is that when you have been in like a church that is more like a Pentecostal church, they do get prayer circles. They do anoint you. They do these things. They talk in tongues. So this, to me, to be what I am now, is normal. It is completely normal. I just have some sisters that are with me that are, and you always want to know where your people are pulling from. I always tell people that, like, if you have a circle and you have a main goal, like a prayer circle, let's call it a prayer circle, okay? If that makes people feel better. If you have a prayer circle, you want to make sure that every one of them is praying to God. Ethel isn't praying to Satan. That's the same thing when you're casting. You want to make sure that y'all are all pulling from the great divine or God, whoever that's the same thing to me. So you got to make sure of those things. But it's pretty much the same. Look in the Bible. You will see so much witchcraft. Jesus pretty much, please, I don't want people to stone me, but the things that he did, if you look at his actions instead of the words that they were writing, if you watch his actions and how he would go about the people and things like that and the miracles he would do, these are things that people, you know what I'm saying, that people like us do, you know what I'm saying? And he said he would give us that power and greater. So to me, it's the same thing. I just don't choose to go by everything in that book because I think it was tampered with by man.
Hey, let me ask you this. A true coven has how many? A true coven has how many members?
Okay, well now 13.
Okay, how many apostles did Jesus have?
13. Yeah. Also, I want you to know his right hand man. It was a woman, and everybody knows that, Mary Magdalene. That was his right hand man. She sat beside him. Some of them will depict that that's a woman that sits beside him. I mean, the thing is I think that we, as Christians, want to believe that I believe God sent Jesus here to live a life and to understand us so he could take on those sins. Why would he cut out the biggest portion, and that would be relationships with other people? I don't think he would, but that's just my personal belief. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, I believe that this is why I don't follow the Bible completely. You want to know why? And this is where I strayed, is I believe that there are very powerful women in the Bible, but they are always downplayed. Always. But if you notice, they're very large roles. Mary Magdalene, Mary, some other ones that are in the Bible, they have very large roles, but they're always downplayed. And I don't believe that's the way God wanted it. If he did, then he wouldn't have even made women like from, you know what I'm saying? He wouldn't have made that equal, that partnering there. He would have made it different. So that's kind of where it first started for me, because being in a Pentecostal church, I couldn't do certain things. I couldn't wear certain things. I couldn't, put on makeup and stuff like that. And that's not, I wanted to be equal. You know what I'm saying? So that's where this started, and you will find a lot of people who are practicers, they actually are women. A lot of them are. I mean, you have men, more, but a lot of them are women because I think that they are embodying themselves, and they're finding that power that I think was always meant for us.
Well, can you explain, who the Southern Gypsies are and what each one of you all, as far as y'all's talents and skills and gifts that you all bring to people and share with people?
Yeah, sure. God, Rodney, you got me talking all fucking serious tonight, man. I swear to God. And normally I'm just like a big goofball, but you do know that I have a serious side, so it's kind of cool. But, okay, the Southern Gypsies, we were formed because, way back when we were, a lady came around, and she said, you know what, I think you all have gifts. And this is when we were completely just paranormal. We did not think we had any gifts, although we were doing things that we shouldn't have been doing, like we were gravitating towards certain symbols. We were celebrating certain things, certain ways. So we were told by this woman also, you were natural witches. We didn't know what the hell was going on. We didn't know because nobody in our family literally came. My mom loves witches, by the way. She is a little sweet woman, but she always, she would love to watch The Wizard of Oz. Any Halloween, you would always find her as a witch. She was pulled towards that, but she never, they always went, she just never followed in that path. She was always, they went to church, things like that. But she really, really liked them. And I was always like, I don't even see why you like us, Ma. You know what I'm saying? I was never, but we would just we grew up with these things that now we're finding in, this culture that we're in, or hoodoo, voodoo. God, hoodoo is very much so mountain magic, very much so. Some of the things that they do, they just use normal things around the house. And I can see, it reminds me of Andy Griffin and the Darlings, when the Darlings came down and they would do their little superstition stuff. That's what hoodoo reminds me of. So I resonate with that very much, so being in the mountains and stuff. But anyway, this lady came around and she said, she definitely told me and Ashley that we were natural witches. And then we realized that, maybe this was a path for us. And then things got opened up with us, with our grandfather passing and stuff. And it was, once you have a string to the other side, things start flowing. And we didn't know what was happening. We were on investigations. We run Sisters of Salem. So we were on investigations, and we were for the first time ever, we weren't having to pursue the spirits. They were us. People would leave, and all of a sudden me and Ashley were sitting there. It was like we were bait. And that's because you could actually, once you have a link to the other side, they see it. It's like a spark. So we reached out to her then, too, and we said, okay, what the hell's happening? And she said, you're opening up. It's okay. This is a natural thing. So she said, let's put this together, and let's see where this goes. So she said, pick a tool of the trade. So I had been drawn to tarot cards since I was really young, so I'm a tarot card reader, and Ashley was too. Ashley likes scrying also, but she's she likes to dabble in all kinds of stuff. I am drawn to the ruins. I don't cast right now, though. I'm trying to learn them a little bit better, but when I tend to use ruins, I tend to do more mediumship because I have to pull. Rather than when I do my tarot cards, I can really get into my cards because I know them so well, and then I can do mediumship if it comes through. I can't guarantee mediumship every time because I can't. It's like meeting a person. If they don't want to talk to you, they're not going to talk to you. So I can't guarantee that. But it's kind of cool. I'll have to tell you all about our gallery reading this last time. Really cool, too. But anyway, so then that's me and Ashley. She likes to scry and stuff, too. She's trying to learn palms. She's trying to pick up everything, actually. Then we have Rhonda, who is our tea leaf reader. She is also, she does palms. Then we have Holly, who is our healer. She's an intuitive healer. Now, Rhonda's also a Reiki master, and me and Ashley are second-level Reiki. That is kind of the same thing Holly is, but it's different. Holly actually knows how to do this shit because she is intuitive, which means she just automatically picked it up and did it. She didn't have anything she was studying from. She has been offered Reiki before, and she won't do it because she believes that that's not her gift, even though she does the same thing. But she's like, that's a Japanese art, actually. I don't know if anybody knows that, but it comes from that line. She's like, this is not where mine comes from. This healing that I do is different. I think I'm getting that right. If not, she'll tell me. But so she really wants to keep that intuitive part because that makes her unique. She also does oracle cards. Then we have Nikita, who is psychometry, which means she can pick up items and she can actually feel them, and she'll tell you about them. But the weird thing is since we've been doing investigation, we're trying to get back into investigations with the Southern Gypsies too. So what we'll do is we'll go in and we'll fill it out and we'll do stuff, and then other people. Anyway, what they do is they'll bring us maps and they'll make us do things beforehand, and Nikita actually can do that too. She'll pick out certain places and stuff. We all can, we realize, and we didn't even know that we could do that this last time. They were giving us pictures, and then we were getting messages even before we went there, which I don't like to do remote, by the way, because I did that one time at my house, and I brought that energy closer to me, and I didn't want that type of energy in my house. So I don't like to do remote, but apparently, we're good at it. all of us, because it's kind of cool to have people who do the research, and then they set this stuff in front of you, and then you're just like naming the stuff off, and they're like, wow. And you don't even know either, because you've never done any of this except these pictures. So that stuff that we're doing. So what we do is we separated from the lady who first she went her path and we went ours, and we love and wish everybody involved in this well. But since then we started the Southern Gypsies, and people they wanted to know about the name. Because I'm pretty sure there's thousands of other gypsies out there. But the reason why is because inside our group that we had together, we actually we would call each other the Gypsy Caravan. So when our branches parted out of a tree, they took part of the name, and we wanted to keep the gypsy part because we felt that in our heart. And it was part of, where we had came from. So then we were just like one day sitting in the Nickerson seat trying really hard to figure out a name. And we were like, we're Southern and we're Gypsy. So what do we got? And they were like, everybody was just like, that's it. And so then that's where the name came from. And we've been trucking with it ever since. And we do events at the Nickerson Sneed, which is a haunted location that the ghost hunters actually ghost hunt weekends go to. They just had one big event this past December, and they're going to come. I think it's sold out for February. They're coming back, the Wraith Chasers. So it's getting momentum, the houses, and we are so happy about that because it's a beautiful house. But that's the home of the Southern Gypsies, and we're just trucking right along, man. The cat's out of the bag with the producer thing because they actually tagged us in Facebook, and they said these are some people that we were filming with. So then we were like, oh, shit, it's okay to say it. I had told you, Rodney, because, we're close, and I do talk to you about, stuff like that because we always bounce things off of each other, but I hadn't told anybody else. So nobody's really come to me because I'm not on Facebook or nothing like that. I'm on Instagram. So I just kind of truck along in my own little world and act like, just things are just, we're just doing the next we have an event coming up in January. It is January 19th. It's going to be the Psychic Days with the Southern Gypsies. It's going to be me, Ashley, and Holly. I don't know if Nikita's going to be joining this. I hope she is, though. But Rhonda is flying out to be with Ricky. That's her husband. And, we're going to be short her, and we're going to miss her. We love her bunches. But we're going to be at the house on the 19th. We got some people who are going to be helping us out, this lovely couple. So if you want to get your New Year's started off right with some readings. I'm actually probably going to do a New Year's reading this year. First time I've ever done that, but I feel like they can choose whether they want a Celtic cross or they want a New Year's reading, and I'll try to help them through the whole year.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
The next question I have is, do any of you all have any type of ancestry that may be that dabbled or have the same abilities that you all have?
Yes. Yeah. That's cool that you bring that up. Actually, I am so glad you brought that up. First of all, I want to tell you that I got a DNA test for that answer, you spit in a cup thing. I got that for Christmas. I'm going to send that off, and I think Rhonda and Ricky got that also. So I'm really, really excited. We know that we stem back from certain things, but Rhonda, I think her aunt did tea leaves. I think it was her aunt or great aunt, one of her great aunts. The weird thing is we're digging into this now, and I think I might be related to Rhonda. That's so funny because my grandma actually comes from Saltville. And my granddaddy married her and brought her up here. So it's kind of crazy because I said the name of my relatives, and Rhonda's like, we got some of those in our family. And I'm like, oh, shit balls. That would be so cool. But anyway, so Rhonda, I know that she has that recently in her past, but also also, Rhonda's linked all the way back to the Salem witches, and then she's linked back to other nobility. Me and Ashley, you can look up whether you are a traveler, an Irish traveler. All you got to do is put your name in and things like that on the internet, and it'll tell you if you're registered over there. Me and Ashley are, so we have that traveler blood in us. But also on our grandpa's side, our papa's side, the Connor name is the last actually king over in Ireland, one of the kings over there. So that's kind of cool. Holly, we don't know what Holly is, but I want to tell you something about Holly. I have never seen this shit before in my life, but I was laying down one time and she was giving me one of her intuitive things, her healing sessions. And normally we don't do that. She doesn't do this a lot on me because, one, I don't think I could sit still that long, and two, we just don't have that time. We're always hustling. And when she was doing it, the weirdest shit is I saw this Indian beside her, Native American. He didn't say a word. He just stood beside her. And while she did this, and that's the only time I've ever seen him. Never seen him since, nothing. But I've never been in there when she's doing her healings. And he was standing right with her as she went around. He didn't say one word, and he was just very, it's not like he had a big headdress on. He had like a couple feathers. It wasn't nothing drastic. He was just a regular man right beside her. And I was like, oh, shit. I was like, Holly, now I understand a lot. So I don't know what her background is, but she is a granny woman. She does that. Her line comes from the mountains, and what these women were is pretty much a witch in the woods. They would go to them, they would get remedies, things like that. So that's her heritage. I have had past life regressions, and this one guy told me that I was from. He actually told me, he said, you prefer larger men. And I said, yeah, I didn't say that. I was like, why do you, because you don't want to give too much away. And he's like, well, the reason why is because that's what you were. You were very large in stature. And apparently I was a Viking warrior, a man. And that's why I'm, more dominant. I mean, he was he laid it out for me. He was like, you died in battle, and you had a family, but you were never there for them because you were always fighting. You fought a lot, and you were very commanding. And that's why when you see men like this, you're very drawn. You want to talk to them and da-da-da-da. And I was like, wow, this makes sense with the ruins and things like that. Then I can understand where this would be coming from. But, yeah, I also have had, I believe that I connected with one of my spirit guides. And it was through dream, and it was crazy. And the only reason why I think it was is because the dream that I was having was crazy. But this guy was standing beside me. And have you ever seen How to Train Your Dragons, the dad? He was a big red-haired guy. He wasn't as tall as I thought he would be. But he was standing there, and somebody said in my dream, I don't know who it was, they were like, is that her man? Are they together? Is that her pair? And they were like, no, that's her cousin. And he never said a word. I was stumbling around in the dream, doing certain things, and he would always be there to pick me up. He never said one thing, nothing like that. And it was kind of like Holly's Indian, Native American. I don't want to call him Indian, but, Native American. And, that's what he was. And then he was gone. But the thing is I really, when I woke up, I was like, holy shit, because it was a lucid dream also. And I went to Scarefest after that. And I was talking, and we were doing readings and stuff like that in this speech, and this girl looked up, and she said, do you know of anybody who is possessed or has been possessed by these spirits, blah, blah. Starts asking these damn questions, and I'm like, we just answer them or whatever. So I go back to our area, and she was like, she came and found me, and she's like, the reason why is because I was asking the questions for you. And I was like, for me? She's like, yeah, because when you talked, I saw this orange, burnt orange around you. And I was like, oh, okay. I was just thinking she was reading my aura or something. She's like, but then you moved when you were talking to somebody about something. It was really cool what I was talking to him about, too. And she's like, and I saw the outline of, it was like a larger outline of, a man, and he was orange, and then he stepped back into you. The thing of it is the guy, my guide, has burnt orange hair. So I was like, oh, shit. I was like, wow, you saw that. And I had just connected with that. The cool thing is since that, I have been able to read a little bit better on the mediumship part, because I think once you link in with your guides, it's a whole different world. You get more, like, they tell you things. And they'll try to keep you away from people, too. Like, I was trying to read for somebody at the gallery reading, and it kept saying, no, don't touch this, don't touch this, don't touch this. And I was just like, what the heck? And then when it did get opened up, then I understood why, because there was, like, a lot of crying and stuff involved. But they were trying to keep me away from it, which was really crazy. But, yeah. So I guess that answers the questions of if our history and things like that. I think we all have history. I think that it's all tied together, and I think it's all coming to, like a full circle for us.
Well, have you all dealt with any, like, shamans, Native American shamans, to work with your group or just to learn from?
That is something that we would love to do. I have actually said that I want to sit down with, I'm trying to figure out my heritage also, because, Rodney, we've talked about this, but I believe that there is Native American in my line. So I don't know what all that is. I know there's Irish. I know that there's, the German part. I know that there is certain things, but then there's, supposedly my great-great-grandmother was full-blooded Native American. So I would like to tap into that. We have some friends, and I've said, look, let's talk to them. Holly definitely pulls from that. When you look at Holly, you don't think it, but I think she has Melungeon. I think Rhonda has Melungeon too, and I have characteristics of a Melungeon, but I'm not for certain that I have. I don't know that side of it, but I would like to know. That's why I'm doing the DNA thing. I think that would be really cool.
Do you know how you can tell somebody's a Melungeon?
Yeah, they have a knot on the back of their head, the back. Their teeth are shoveled. That's what I have. I have the shoveled. They also have something else. Like, there's a big list of characteristics. But I do know that the knot, I think it's at the top of their spine or something like that, is very predominant somewhere back there. And then, the shovel in the back of the teeth. I thought everybody's teeth was like that. And then there's a couple other things, too. But do you know the rest of them, Rodney?
No, I just know the back of the knot on the back of the head because at the bottom of the skull, because I have it. Because I've been told that my family is Melungeon on my dad's side.
Well, okay, I can understand. Like you have like lighter hair and things like that. Maybe that's where Holly. I don't know, but she very much so pulls from there. Like when she does her stuff. She even has, like, Native American music, and I don't know. So, yeah. But there is a characteristic. You can look it up. I did one day, and I went through, and I was like, holy shit. Like, we have a lot of these. But I'm not from – I don't know. That's why I need a little bit more clarification, DNA, baby, all the way. I told my family, though, because my granddaddy is straight from Germany. And I was like, Merry Christmas, guys. If I'm not German, I guess we're all screwed, huh? I was like, I'm going to screw everybody's Christmas up, man. And my mom's like, that's not funny.
But you do know what Melungeon people are, don't you?
Yes, everything. They are Native American, they're Spanish, they're African American, it's everybody that was pushed in the mountains. Yeah.
They actually think, from what I've read, also they've done a lot more research on them, that their bloodline first came from Turkey. That when the settlers pushed into the mountains, they actually found like Persian-looking people, and they didn't know where they come from.
Well, that's another thing too. Okay, so my uncle is married to a lady who comes from down in a lot of people who are more Melungeon and stuff come from your area too, Rodney. They come from like Pound, they come from Tazewell, they come from Bluefield. She comes from Coburn, I think, somewhere down in there. Anyway, she looks like a little Latino woman, a little Mexican woman.
Yeah.
And she said that, she's short, she's a little bit round, things like that. And she's like, I'm Melungeon. I am like all the way. She's like, they pushed us in the mountain. This is what we are. So you do have that Latino background too. If you look at me and Ashley, we are night and day. She makes herself look more, she has very flame red hair. She has very pale skin. She actually tans and dyes her hair. And then I've always said that I'm Black Irish. Black Irish is where you can get a tan, you have blue eyes, and you have dark hair. And that is people from Ireland. Ashley is very much so if you see her. So when I tell her we're Native American, like if you really look at me, you were like, okay, I can understand that. But Ashley, she's like, no, we're not. And I'm like, Grandma told me that her grandma was. I know 100%. So I just want that clarification. I want to know, like you always want to know that. You want to know where you come from and stuff,
Oh, yeah. I think I'm going to order at Ancestry at 23andMe and check out and see what I can.
Okay, that's the one where you spit in it, right?
I think you spit in it, yeah.
Yeah, Rhonda said you had to spit in it a lot. I can't wait. I hope Rhonda gets hers back soon so I can, see what hers is and stuff like that. But, yeah, I'm excited about that. Also, Rodney, wanted to tell you about this because it kind of blew my mind. I had saw a lot of, because I follow a lot of the strongmen because I do like lifting when I'm not being lazy. And I like to watch strong women and strong men because, they're built like me and they're still performing out there. I think it's great. Anyway, so a lot of them are getting really, really buff now. They're cutting a lot of the fat off, and they're getting more trim. And the reason why is because they did this ancestry shit, and you get the health side of it. You can also order that, Rodney. Like when you go to the ancestry thing, you can get the regular kind for like $69, or you can get the health too, and it tells you what your predispositions are. I think it also, these athletes are now conditioning themselves and cutting like certain foods because of the predispositions of their ancestors and stuff, and they're streamlining, and they are becoming very powerful. So this is kind of cool. The ancestry shit is like amazing, yeah.
Oh yeah, I agree. I can't wait to get it and get it out and see what's going on. Because I'm gonna get the one that tells about the health issues too.
I know, like, wouldn't that be kind of cool?
Oh yeah, I think it's gonna be awesome.
It's kind of like the blood type diet.
I guess. I mean, it would tell you, if your ancestors, you got a long line of heart disease or kidney disease.
Aspect.
Yeah.
But see, the blood type diet tells you what food you should eat and you should not eat according to your health.
That's kind of the same, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, next question is.
Next question is, when am I going to start questioning y'all? As a talk host, I always any radio show I go on, I end up asking them questions, Rodney. I'm really proud that you're keeping this online.
Yeah. Because after 3 years of experience, by God, I know what the fuck I'm doing now.
Normally I'm like, so tell me about yourself and tell me what's going on here.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, you did it to me 2 years. Boy, this year I grabbed the tits and went with it, didn't I?
It's hard. You know that. Like, if you're a guest on somebody else's show, you'll do the same thing. You'll be like, so, guys, tell me, how are you doing? What are you into? Blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, you've done turned it around on them. It's easy. It's so easy because of having the history of it,
Oh, yeah. I've done it. I've done it a few times. So, can you tell us about y'all's seances that y'all have and how what that entails and what happens during them?
Yes. We have had some cool stuff happen during the seances. We've had some crazy stuff happen. Oh, Ronnie, let me tell you this before we go into the damn seance. I got to tell you something. Okay?
Uh-huh.
This is crazy. So this is just a little excerpt from our lives. Like, when people come to us and they get read and stuff like that, we want to help them as much as we can. So we are going to leave out any names. If I ever tell you a story, you'll never know who that's from because that's an invasion of their privacy. And I do not tell names. I don't tell, like, dates or anything like that or nothing like that. I don't want to do that because I want, this is all confidential. It always is. The only time we ever do break from that and talk amongst ourselves is if we've all read from them and we can get, like, a bigger picture for them, But we had this couple come, And God bless them. One went to Ashley, one went to me, and we read for them. One of the questions is Ashley was like, you should probably, you're going to get ready to take off. You're going to get ready to leave. And the one she was reading for was like, right now? Should I leave right now? And Ashley was like, well, you don't got to leave like right now. She's like, but you think that I should leave. You think I should take off. And she's like, well, that's what your cards say, but you don't have to do that. So she's trying to advise her. So I'm sitting over here with her partner, and I'm like giving my part, and I'm like, you have cops around you. I'm just letting you know. And they're like, yeah, and she knew she had cops around her. It came out a big story. Okay, when they eventually just said, okay, fine, this is what y'all are hitting on, this is what this is. How this was put to us is that they had been propositioned by a cop to sell drugs, plain and simple, and they didn't know whether they should do it or not because they were already selling drugs. And we're like, oh, shit. Because I told them, I was like, you need to be careful. And this cop is around you. It's just all around you. And da-da-da-da. And I even gave how many months this cop would be around. And then, like, we didn't see them. And they were so funny because we were having a seance. And we call them. And they were there. And they said, the one, like, it was a sound. And they were like, that's not a ding-ding. It's a dong-dong. So we always say it's not a ding-ding. It's a dong-dong. Like, we would just, like, joke and stuff. But the other night, I got a screenshot sent to me. They got arrested. And, like, the saddest thing, though, is I read for the daughter, too. And the daughter didn't want to be separated from them. And I was just like, it's going to be okay, honey, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, they really want to put me with this other person. They want to take off. Apparently they didn't. And the girl got taken, and like they're in jail now. I mean, there are mugshots everywhere. So I was just like, holy shit. And it was so sad because a couple days before we were all like, wonder what happened to the guys. We miss them, because we don't care what you've done. Seriously, like I've read from all kinds of people. If I connect with you and it's good and I think you're a good person, I don't give a shit what you've done. So we were like, wonder where they're at, and blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, all of us, like 3 or 4 of us, were like, wonder where they went. And then all of a sudden they popped up on TV and they had been arrested. So that's some crazy shit. Like, we try to advise as much as we can, and we try to give them information, but you still have to make your own choices and stuff like that. But that just recently happened, like less than a month ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, but our seances pretty much, they're really cool. We come in, we have the spiritual trumpet, we have the bells, we have, because you want them to move the bells. We have all kinds of stuff. We've had flames that come up, like out of the candles, that we caught on, and we have, spirits that will come around. We tend to, I'll tell you what, we were in investigation, and normally we investigated the next to Sneed. This was a different location. And when we were investigating, we didn't fill out the house or anything like that yet. Normally when we fill out the house, we just walk around and we will fill out the whole house and tell you all the spirits we encounter there. Well, the thing is like when we did the seance and we asked them to come in at this table in the middle of this house, we saw so many spirits. We saw like farm hands and, all kinds of stuff like that. And kids and stuff. But as we got walking through the house, we never saw them again. We only saw the dominant spirits in these rooms, which was kind of crazy. So it kind of made us open up a little bit and think maybe we need to start off with seances no matter where, so that we could pull and see all of the people, not just the more dominant ones and stuff. But yeah, that's what happens a lot of times. Sometimes there could be readings come through for you that are there. There could be, like, spirits that want to talk, like, about the house and things like that. It's just all kinds of stuff comes through. It's really neat, and it's very controlled and very safe. Like, if something negative starts happening, then Holly is really, really good about, I'm going to break circle now, because we have had to do that, being in a negative situation, and then we will, get out, ground, things like that. So, yeah.
That's cool. Well, what kind of tools do you all use, when you're having your events and your seances and so forth?
We try to teach people to use themselves as much as possible. Like now, there's so much digital shit, man. Like, I remember the time, and I might have told you this, Rodney. I remember the time that, like, I realized I don't want to do this shit no more with all this stuff. I was at St. Albans Sanatorium. It was a public group. I was sitting there, and I looked across the floor, and it was completely littered with all these fucking lights. I'm serious. Like, there was, like, one of those things that had, like, the glue stick. Looks like glue sticks, like, where it's at. Then they had, like, voice recorders, and they had, like, millimeters. They had everything, and you couldn't walk because it was, like, kicking the stuff. And I remember looking around going, this is some bullshit because nothing is going to communicate with all this at once. And if they are able to, it's not going to – it takes out the simplicity of it. I want you to think about when you've ever had an encounter with a spirit. And normally – it's when you have nothing and there is nobody but you and that spirit. And you happen to be walking past and you just happen to see somebody standing there. You look back and there's no fucking body there. That's how simple it is. Or, I'm not saying not have equipment, by the way. I do believe in a voice recorder 100%. And if you can get something on recorder that is like a video, that's awesome. But what I think with all of these new technologies, people are spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars when your best tool ever is you. I want you to tell me how I can tell somebody that this person is like horses, and I could smell horses in this house that we go to, okay? Now, me, just, sitting in this house, and I'm like, horses and this and da-da-da. They just put me in a regular house. How would I know this? And those are the claims. The thing is, yeah, I do readings and stuff like that, but it doesn't mean that the regular person can't do that too. They just have to ground and they have to find that intuition, which everybody can do if they just take a minute and they, like, find their inner peace and meditate and all that shit. They're really going to find where they're going to be able to be in tune with the spirits more. And that's what we try to do. We try to do that. We do use tipping tables. We do dowsing rods, I think. We do, if they want to bring recorders and they want to bring things that they can, equipment. Now, we're not against that and stuff like that, but we use just the regular us. We want to take it back to spiritualist times. Tipping tables is pretty cool. That's where, you put your fingers on the side and then it can roll or all kinds of stuff and get answers. Ouija boards, we do Ouija boards. People are really against those, but I tell you what, it's no different than a voice recorder. If you start asking questions and telling them to touch you and all kinds of stuff, it's the same thing. It's still manipulation. So, but we are very safe. We help people. We don't leave nobody by themselves. We don't, you always make sure that you have more than one person on a board, things like that. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, that's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, well, I mean, it sounds like you use a lot of stuff.
Well, not us. We just use our bodies.
That sounds sexual.
I told you I'm trying to key into that, Rodney. Is it working?
It's working.
It's I'm telling you, on Instagram, I went out the other night, and I never post, like, a sexier picture. And I was like, I'm going to do this, because I am not one of those. I am, like, goofy is more my speed. And you will see me doing goofy shit all over the place. But as far as, like, a sexy picture, oh, my gosh. And I did it, and I felt so horrible. You'll see me take stuff down, too, because I'll be like, oh, my God, I'm not going to leave that up, and I'll take it down. Well, I actually took a screenshot of it. And I had to get that picture from her because I'm like, I don't have it anymore, anything, it went away. And that was I was like, I'm going to leave this up here, and I'm going to make sure that this is up here, So that's what I'm trying to do this year. If you see pictures like that, I'm trying to get my sexy back, Rodney.
Get your sexy back. You're getting sexy back.
You should try to do that. Why don't you make that resolution, Rodney?
Shit, I already got my sexy. I don't need to get it back. I need to get rid of it.
Melinda, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Okay, I have a question for you. Have you ever enchanted a lipstick?
Have I ever done what?
Have you ever enchanted a lipstick?
No.
No, you haven't?
No.
You should do that. Pick your red one, honey. You know what red's for in ours. I don't know. I tried this. I'm trying to think. We tried this recently, and we were like, oh, hey, let's do this. And it was one that we have found and stuff, and that you could just enchant it to, bring you more sexuality and stuff. And the color red is passion and stuff for us and, like, what we do. So, yeah, we were like, let's try this. I don't know. I have to tell you how it works. We're all going to share it, too, because we all did it as a group. So I'll have to tell you how it works. If it works, I'm going to try it out this weekend.
Cool. Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, I was wondering because I know you wear, like, bolder lips, so I didn't know if you had tried to do, like, it's the pretty much, I mean, you just put a spell on the lipstick, which makes sense, like yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Okay, let me know how it goes, and I'll try it.
Yeah, I will. Rodney,
Okay.
have you ever enchanted a lipstick?
No, I haven't had a chance yet. I was thinking about it.
A good mauve would be good with you, Rodney.
I bet it would.
By the way, how's your daughter doing?
Which one?
You know who I'm talking about. No, you're one. No, Lee, right?
Yeah, Lee.
How's she doing?
I got Lee in Dallas. She's doing great. She's living up there in Waynesboro, loving it up
Well,
there.
I thought she was coming back home.
Well, she came home for the weekend.
Oh, she ain't moving back home?
No.
No, I thought she was for some reason. Didn't she live in Richmond for a while?
Yeah, she lived in Richmond, and then she lived up there next to Newport News for a little bit, and then she moved to Waynesboro, and I think she's going to settle down there. Her boyfriend went into the Navy, and
yeah,
it's. I think she's handling it pretty good. Everybody down here when she comes and visits, like, come to Waynesboro and visit me. It's like, who the fuck wants to come to Waynesboro?
Well, it's probably a lot better than living in Newport News and Richmond area, though.
In Tazewell, she hates it here. That's all I heard out of her every day that she was here. I hate this place.
What?
I'm like, yeah, she hates Tazewell. I told her, I said, well, when you get older, you'll want to come back.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, her spirit is so. God, I love her to death. Your other daughter is beautiful too, but she's kind of to herself. So I don't get to talk to her as much. But I tell you what, when I get to talk to her, though, I mean, I am just clicking with her. She's so funny and smart, and she's just, like, sarcastic as hell. Oh, my God, I love it. Your other one is so sweet, and she's so, like, she reminds me a lot of, Amy, because she's so, like, she stays back, and she does her own thing,
Yeah. Lee's like me.
She is, and I love that. But she's like in her girl form, so then it's even funnier.
It is. It really is.
She can say some shit that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I think her personality is infectious.
Her infectious? Yes, it is.
She want more and more. The more you talk to her, it's like the more you want to know more.
Yeah. She's just she's so intelligent too. I think that is really good. So, I really click with her a lot. So I was just wondering how she was doing and stuff like that. But yeah.
Well, she's all excited about she helps me a lot with the Phantom Fest and the Easter photo shoots and the Christmas photo shoots and stuff like that. And people love her. I mean, she just bam, bam, bam. She's on top of it. She gets it done. When I tell her to do something, I know it's going to get done.
Yeah. Well, she did great. You know what? I'm serious. That panel with all the women, the different women and stuff, she did really good. She had all of us. She would go down the line. And it's hard. There's some big fucking personalities in that room. I mean, all of us in that room was just crazy. But she did really good. She did. And I really enjoyed that different aspects of paranormal and all that kind of stuff together and stuff. I thought that was pretty neat. Phantom Fest next year. It's going to be even bigger.
That's right. We've got I've got a guy. I don't know if I've got to tell you yet, But we've got our own website. We've got a guy that's he's taking care of the event as far as getting people signed up. He's already got the hotel rooms for 20 rooms set aside. He's let's see, what else has he done? He's going to get us some really fancy name tags. It's all, oh man, this year you ain't gonna believe the difference on how we got all stuff. He's gonna live stream it, video it, and all.
Well, you know what? I don't want to knock first year though, because that was to pull all that together in Lebanon, Virginia, which nobody really even knows that much about Lebanon. And to have it down there, it was a good turnout. It was a good first year. Everybody was really good. And if people look at those pictures of the Phantom Fest, everybody, remember that big picture that we all got and all the people that were there? You know, that's just the vendors and stuff. So it was really, really cool having all that there. So it could only get bigger from there, Rodney, you know. So I thought it was really cool. And I don't know who's going to be speaking this year, but I don't even think it matters. I mean, it's just going to be a good time. I mean, it does matter, but, you know, just to do it again and to have that camaraderie and, you know, it's just going to get bigger and bigger. Gosh, Carl and his friend, I can't remember his friend, drove all the way from, I think it's around the Newport area and stuff like that. That was one of the groups, CNC, that came. Great guys. God, Rodney, you have to have that guy back that does the flames. I might get caught on fire, but I'm telling you, that was one of my favorite pictures ever is when I had those fucking flames. I don't know who took it, but it was hilarious. Did you see it?
Yeah, I've seen it. It is awesome. Yeah, he said he'll come back, and hopefully we'll. You know, I'm working on getting some other speakers, and a lot of the speakers we did have are coming back, and vendors are saying they're all wanting to come back, and if we can get more vendors, I mean, like you said, it's going to grow. It's going to get better, and I've already started. Like I said, Josh has already started working on the website and all that, and I'm going to start laying it all out. The Elk Garden School Methodist Church, I think it's how they word it. But I talked to them today, and they're going to sponsor again, and they're going to be set up, you know, to take non-perishable foods again. They loved it and can't wait. And, you know, Lebanon Police Department was happy that was there. They can't wait for us to come back.
I'm glad, because I enjoyed those fellas.
I did too, man. They were awesome.
They were. Oh, my God. I had so much fun just, like, talking to them and stuff. Like, they were, like, I don't know. They had the young one, and then when the old one showed up, he was hilarious. And they're always, like, you could talk to a policeman a certain way that is hilarious, and they will, like, joke with you about anything. Now, if I was speeding past in my car, I couldn't do the same shit. But you know what I'm saying? And then there was another gentleman that showed up, was really nice, and I knew him from previous things and stuff. It was just the guys that came, the police guys, they were awesome. But I bullshit with a lot of people, so, you know. Probably didn't help that I was bullshitting with them most of the time. But I have some great pictures of that, too, Rodney. I took their hats, and I was trying to get handcuffs and stuff, and it did not work. But I'm working on this sexy. I might get the handcuffs this year.
Yep, you might. You just might. You might get a lot more than a handcuff.
I almost did. Like, I got scared. There was a story that happened that scared the shit out of me. One of those police or guards or policemen or whatever had a gun in his pocket, and I didn't know. And he put my hand on it, and I freaked out and pulled my hand, and my eyes got really big, and he was like, "No, that's my gun." And I thought he was putting my hand on something else, and I freaked out, man. Yeah. Like, and he's like, "No, that's my gun." Like, he was then embarrassed. And then I was like, nobody puts their gun in their pocket like that. You're going to shoot your dick off.
Damn.
Yeah, I got scared. Like, I got scared. Like, oh, my God. And then I got really, really scared. So then I started asking questions like, "Hey, how do y'all know if you got syphilis?" And then he was like, "Well, I'm going to go."
I'm going. Done.
Yeah, he was done after that. He was like, "Well, I'm going to go." I'm like, thank God. I mean, I don't think he meant anything by it, but he scared the shit out of me. Melinda, as a woman, if you're sitting there and this guy, because Carl got me like this little woman weapon that it's called women. You know what I'm talking about, Rodney? That lady sells it. It's for women, like when they're, I don't know what it's called. But it's like a spike thing that you could hit somebody with and hurt them. So I was like, oh, man, look at this, and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, well, look at this. And he took my hand and put it on his gun, but I thought it was something else, and I freaked out and, like, threw my hand back, and I was like, oh, my God. And he's like, no, that's my gun. So he was just trying to compare weapons, but he scared me with his weapon, if you know what I mean.
Uh-huh. I bet he did.
Yeah. He did. He did. Melinda, you would have been like that too, though, wouldn't you? I mean, you would have been like, what the hell is happening here, you know?
I'm a little more aggressive. I probably would have told him off.
You probably would have. You're right. Melinda would have been like, I'm going to beat you with your own gun.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Y'all should see
my
my look, though. Like, I was sitting at the table looking at Rhonda, looking at Ricky, and this guy sitting beside me, and I was just like, I think they thought that I looked like I had a heart attack, though. It was funny. But he didn't mean nothing by it. He was a really good-hearted guy, but nobody should put their weapon in their pocket like that. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? You would think that they would shoot. You would think that they would shoot their beans and franks off. I don't know what's happening with that, but hey.
That's funny.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Have you ever drawn down the moon?
No, I haven't. Well, tell me how to do it. Tell me how you do it. And I'll tell. I am very attracted to the moon, very, very much so. I have heard you talk about drawing down the moon before because I think we've talked. The most I have done is when the blood moon came around, fucked me up. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I got fucked up, and you do cut things off. Like when you get really, really in line with the moon and stuff, your whole body changes, and you know what I'm talking about. Like when the phases are changing, our moods change. Sometimes we get horny. Sometimes we get like very much so. It's just a shift in our personalities. When the blood moon came, that was the most intense thing that ever happened to me. I drank a lot that night, but then when I woke up the next morning, I just cut all these fucking people out of my life. It was like done. And I knew it was from that because that was one of the things that you were supposed to do. I'm very hypnotized by the moon. I have ran, like we would go walking at nighttime, and I would just have to run, like all the energy of it. It was crazy. But as far as drawing down the moon, tell me how you do that, Melinda.
Well, you know how you're talking about getting your sexy back.
Yeah.
Like when the weather is warm, it's like especially around Litha, when it gets it's water, especially when the water's warm.
Yeah.
I like to put on like a sheer white, something white and flowy, because I just think that's very feminine, and like have nothing else on, and go into a lake or water on a full moon. And you just feel so beautiful, and you draw it down. See, I call on my goddess is Diana.
Yeah.
So I just go out into the water, and I have this on, and it's a full moon, and I just start praying and meditating and trying to. What it is you're trying to bring the moon down to you, where you almost feel like you could reach out and touch it.
Yes.
And the energy is so wonderful. And you just feel afterwards, I can't even sleep because my energy is just so on point. And you just feel so beautiful and just so, like a woman, like we're supposed to feel,
Right.
So that might be something you might want to try.
I think I will. Like, okay, that's weird because I think my body's trying to do that. Like, you don't even know the crazy shit that happens to me with the moon. And I think my body's trying to do that, and I didn't even know that. So thank you for letting me know about that because I will try to do that. Because I remember the blood moon very distinctly because I was like, there is a picture of me. I got naked except in my bra and panties. I was on the porch of the naked sea just looking, and it's like, some reason the moon does make me want to get naked, and I do not know why. I mean, I don't care where I'm at. I'm like, I'm going to take the clothes off right now.
Yes, you're right. It does that. And you feel just so beautiful, especially out in like that, And, as well as, you know that water is the conductor of energy. So when you're in that water and it's a full moon and you're doing that, I mean, it's just amazing. Now, don't expect to sleep that night. You better have things to do because you're not going to be able to sleep.
That's cool as crap. I'm going to try that. Like, I'm going to get us all to try that. Like, that's cool as crap. Like, the thing is like, okay, when you said, like, a woman's supposed to feel, I love that you say that because, like, on this journey of learning about myself and, you know, opening up and things like that, that's the one thing that I think that we've been fucked over forever about, is a woman is supposed to feel beautiful and empowered at all times. Yeah. And that's the truth. Now, sometimes we don't, like we have kids and we're running them here and there and that. Now, that's one thing. But your woman, to her core, no matter what her size, no matter what her shape, no matter what her age, nothing, she's supposed to understand that she is a treasure. And we've lost that as a fucking society. We have.
Yeah.
And
we let other people dictate to us how we're supposed to look, how we're supposed to feel, what we're supposed to say.
Exactly. And when you say we're supposed to, it lets us feel like a woman, like we're supposed to, I think that is one of the best things about this journey. And I think that's why you do find a lot of women. You see the women, they say a witch is a woman, blah, blah, blah. But there are men, by the way. You see that because she's able to stand up and say, this is me, this is who I am, and this is, you know, I am beautiful no matter what. And I think that's the cool part about this. And I don't even want to call it a religion. I want to call it a way of life. It's different. It's the more spiritual side of that, the more you get, the more you realize that you don't have to be like certain size and say certain things and do certain things. You just have to be able to be you. And when you find that scares the fuck out of people. They really do. Like, for example, with Rodney, we've talked about this, Rodney, is people don't understand. We were the Sisters of Salem. They're like, oh, well, they're doing this, but how are they able to do tarot cards now? I thought they were in paranormal. This is the thing. As you open up, you will start, you know, finding your tool, such as the tarot cards, and then you're going to, like, be more spiritual. That scares the fuck out of people because they don't have a little box to put you in anymore, and when they don't have a little box to put a woman in, they think that they get scared. They get intimidated, and then that's where we're led with people just don't like, you know, they start saying stuff and ugly things, and that's the way the world works, you know?
They want to tear you down because they see that you're empowered.
Right. Exactly. And the bad thing is, though, for women like ourselves who are coming into that and feeling that and knowing that, first of all, to have a partner, you have to have a different connection. And you know what I'm talking about, Melinda. It is a spiritual connection rather than, like, it is different. It is different because you connect on a different level. You connect on that spiritual level, too. I mean, they could probably, you want them to look good, but if they don't and they have that connection with you, you'll still be drawn to them. But it also takes a very strong man to walk beside a woman who has realized her power, a very strong man.
Well, how can you tell if you have that connection with a man like that, like you're explaining?
How can you tell?
Yeah.
Well, there's different things like, oh, God, you don't understand. I get told that on a goddamn daily basis of just friends. I don't even know why. You know how many times I got messages last year telling me I think that we were meant to meet each other. I think we're meant to share a path. I meant to da-da-da-da. And I'm like, right on, brother. I feel the same. This is that's as far as it goes with me because I'm thinking, okay, we're supposed to be friends. We're supposed to be in this line together. But yeah, I had about 3 or 4 people. It's different. You know that it's lined up different. They get you. They understand. Like, the thing of it is, though, is with people who are gifted also, which everybody's gifted, so I don't really like to throw that out there. But, like, say let's take Ashley, for example. Ashley starts dating a guy. Because she reads tarot cards and she does use that other sense, she will start connecting with him and taking on his characteristics. This is a known thing. It just happens. She will start feeling things when he feels things, but that's because she's gifted, and everybody can be gifted. Now, it doesn't mean that he's her perfect match. She has to figure out whether he is or not. And you'll know very quickly. You will, because there is just certain synchronicities that happen, and it's more of a, I hate to use this, but it's like a zing. It really is. It's different. It's a different, it's a different setup. It's a different, people connect differently. Ashley's really hard to, right now she is, dating and stuff like that, and it's hard for her because she has to, one, find the guy that she's attracted to. She connects on a different level, and also he has to be accepting of this. Now, that's a lot to ask from somebody. She is dating somebody right now, and he seems pretty cool with it, and we'll see how it goes and stuff like that. But you know what I'm saying? It's just a different level. The connection, if you've never felt a true connection with somebody, like if you've never, when they are, you don't even know, you don't even talk to them, but you know that they're hurt or they're not feeling good, or you've got to get in touch with them and you just feel that pull towards them. It's a different level when you do feel that, and it's very intense. And sometimes it does, when it ends, sometimes you got to do stuff that will break it. Like, I've had to be involved with things that will break that connection with those people because they get so tightly together, yeah.
Man, that's awesome. I didn't know that.
What?
So I didn't know that, but how can you tell, though? Is it that you just know it, or is there certain signs or other
well, okay.
things?
Didn't you? Okay, Rodney, when you were dating your wife, weren't there certain things that was like, this is the one? Wasn't it like that?
No.
Okay, Rodney, let's. I'm just joking. I'm joking with you. You know I am. I love Amy. Okay. Let's go to Melinda. Melinda, have you ever had a one love? You know what I'm saying? You know what it's like. It's a different connection. First of all, if they're not intelligent, you won't make that connection. You'll try, and it just won't happen because you can't get through. You can't get them to understand. But if they are open, like Holly, for example, she actually can astral plane, like, do some shit with people, like, and then she gets really bonded with them because then they're doing shit on a different astral plane shit. Yeah, and that's a different level of shit. So you have to have somebody who's open like that, and it's hard to find guys like that. It really is, and I kind of feel sorry for anybody out there trying to find that. I mean, Melinda, how is your area of, you're single, is that correct?
Well, I'm talking to somebody.
Okay, good. So you're talking to somebody. So you know that you have to, like, fill them out, see if you have that connection. You know what I'm talking about, right?
When you have that connection with somebody, even if you can't be with them, you still have to have them in your life in some capacity because you feel like a puzzle piece is missing, and it's like there's a void, and you don't like a void.
Mm-hmm. Right, so exactly.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like, I don't know if you've ever been involved with breaking those ties either. That is some shit that will take months, by the way. Spell after spell, Reiki, months, and it literally, until it releases, it is ridiculous. When you have somebody who's super sensitive and super spiritual, and they've linked up, and they know that it is not a good relationship. They've ended the relationship, but that link is still there. I have seen people who have got sick. Like, I actually linked up with this guy one time, and he would have anxiety and shit, and she would go from a regular person to anxiety. Like, I mean, and she would just be like, something's going on. I can't stop this. I mean, it was crazy as shit, and unless you have that connection and you understand about it, you wouldn't. And it took her a long time to get him out of her system and stuff. You could do tie cutting with Reiki also, by the way. You can also do it with spells. You could do a hot foot jar on somebody to try to get them away. But if you have that connection, it's just it's like a string, I guess. It's sometimes from your stomach to them, but it's a string connecting you to them. And when that happens, that's a strong damn bond. I don't know what to tell you, but it is. And when they cut that string, you could feel it. Ashley has told me before, there was this one guy, and she's like, I felt the day he cut it. I knew when that string, somehow he was able to cut it. And that's just stuff. Now, if you've never encountered this, Rodney, then I sound crazy as shit right now. Melinda, do you understand what I'm talking about, honey?
Yes, and the string is almost like the mother with the baby. It's like that cord.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like a lifeline.
Exactly. Yes. And yes, It is, very much so. And you could feel, and when you are a different level of sensitive, you do attach like that. And it's the weirdest shit ever. So, yeah. Rodney, you've never encountered this.
Well, I wouldn't say I never encountered it. I just said I've encountered it.
So, like, you've had that that cord connection with somebody?
Yeah.
Do you still feel them today, or did it take you a long time to get rid of it?
No, I still feel them today.
Huh?
I still feel them today.
See what I'm saying? And that's because we told you 1,000 times you're fucking sensitive, Rodney. But that's okay. You be stubborn.
I tell him too. I tell him all the time.
I'm serious. You should go and study shamanism. I'm serious. I have told you that 1,000 times, Rodney. I'm serious.
I'll think about it. I got lots of stuff.
I think that would be a path that would be really good for you. Hell, I might get in that goddamn TP with you. We'll do a sweat. What is them things called where they sweat and they go to the... I mean, it's supposed to be really intense and you could die from it, though. What's it called?
Yeah, you're right. It's like a sweat tent or something. Yeah. And the guy that actually had that, and he did die, and he almost got in trouble for it.
You can't go too far with that shit. Because what it is, you're just in there, and it gets so damn hot, you start hallucinating. Yeah.
Rodney, let's not take the mystical shit out of it now. God, Lord. What happens is like, that's your next world, man. That's like, they take you to the edge of where you leave this world into the next, and that's some deep shit, man. I don't know if I could do that. Like, I end up passing out over there and everything instead of just doing what I'm supposed to.
Well, I tell you what, last year when I croaked, when I woke, I was dreaming. Well, I think I was dreaming. I remember I could hear my dad, and I was talking to him, trying to find him because I could hear him. And I was like just in white, in this white area, and I couldn't feel anything. And then all of a sudden, this woman appeared, and with long black hair, and then her hair turned into like wings, big ass black wings. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I woke up.
Yeah, no. Okay, so that right there, that probably was your lucid dream. Because lucid dreams is that you are aware of what the fuck's happening. If you're trying to find somebody, if you're trying to do things like that, you probably was getting some kind of, and I get stuck in dreams and it pisses me off, like it fucks me up for days. Like I will be in them, I will be like, and it's not sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis is where your body wakes up, you can look around but you're not able to move. I am in these fucking dreams and I tell them, let me the fuck out. I know that this is a dream. And they act like they do, and then whatever is in there will be like, you can't get out. We're not letting you. And I'm like, the fuck you ain't. I need out now. And this is ever since I was little. And I didn't know those were lucid dreams. I thought lucid dreams were different things, but lucid dreams is that you can control some of that you understand things. You're searching for things that, my uncle passed one time, and, I hadn't, sometimes they come to me in dreams, and he hadn't, and I just, I was thinking about him and things like that, and I went one night when I was sleeping, and I found him in my dreams, and he told me, he said, you're not supposed to be here, you're not supposed to be looking for me, don't touch me. He's like, I'm always around, I'm puttering around, but you need to go back, stop looking for me. And he told me that in the dream, and I didn't even know that I did that. And then I did the same thing with my grandfather, my granddaddy, when we had that court case. I didn't know I was able to do that. So, Rodney, if you were looking for people and you found, you've told me this story, so I know who the person looked like. You were looking for, I think you were probably looking for somebody to help you. I think you were.
I think so, too, and I think they found me. I mean, that's
I think
my
so,
thing.
too.
And showing up the way they did, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Hello! Like, damn! And it comes with wings. Damn. Well, we're about out of time. We got about 12 minutes left, so what
Are
do you
you
want to talk
shitting
about?
me?
No, it flew by.
Oh my God! You had me in the beginning talking like I was really professional.
Well, you are professional.
I am to a certain extent, and then I'm like, after so long of that, I mean, you know how I am, Rodney. I'm very headstrong, but then I want to screw off after a while.
Oh, I know. But hey, yeah, we've always had fun. Always shoot the shit.
That's true.
I mean, if I don't see you all within 2 or 3 months, man, I start going through DTs. I'm like, I gotta call you or something.
Do you know, Rodney, that I lost my... Okay, so I was coming from a bar this past weekend, and for some reason, I slept on the way up here, so I had to get in my car. And then my phone just died, so I haven't had a phone all week. And I had to order a new one, and I got it today, and then I messaged you. I forgot all about the interview and everything, and I was so glad you posted that. And I couldn't get messages. I couldn't get shit. So if anybody has tried to talk to me within the last week, I didn't get nothing. And then when it booted back up, it took me all the way to December 16th. Anything from December 16th on, I don't have any track of. So I was glad you sent that, and I was glad that I was able to, get my phone today and message you.
Yeah, I'm too.
Just right.
I was kind of getting a little worried. I hadn't heard back from him when I left a message. And I'm like, oh,
You did
no.
leave a message, see? Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying that I'm glad that it worked out then, because I think that it was supposed to be, yeah. I know Ashley feels bad that she didn't get to come on tonight. She was like, I didn't know, I thought it was her short week, which she would have been here for it tonight, but, she'll have to get next year. She'll be here for next year.
That's fine. I understand. Hell, everybody got to make $1.
Yeah. You know what? This is crazy. To take people back 3 years ago. I want to I'll talk to them about, let me tell the story about how all this happened. How Rodney has this show. I remember being at a Halloween party, probably, 3 to 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And I said, Rodney, swear to God, if there is ever a place, if there is ever, if we go start our own or whatever, I think you should go into this radio thing, because you were just in the paranormal. You were just doing investigations. And you were like, well, I thought about it or something. I said, Rodney, you would be great at it. And I remember when the vibe thing came about, I was just like, Rodney, we need to get this going, because this is the path for you. I knew it was. And it becomes, me and Ashley don't get to do the paranormal party like we used to. We have a network on Spreaker. We don't really do anything with it because we're putting everything we got into the Southern Gypsies. But paranormal party is always in our soul, because it is really a good, it's a good thing. It was something that let us step outside of just investigating and meet all these great people and get to do some great things. So I thought that would be a great venue for you. And I thought that, man, anybody who needed to do a radio show, it was you, Rodney. And you have picked that up, and for the last fucking 3 years did awesome with it. And I'm really proud of you. I really am.
Well, thank you. I would, if it wasn't for you two girls, I wouldn't have done it.
Really? I figured, I don't know, Rodney, this is so much up your alley. I think eventually you would have done it. It was just in your path. We just happened to be, in the way to, push you that way. But I think you would have been.
Well, I appreciate that. And like I said, I couldn't have done it without you two and all the support from you all and Ryan and Holly and even Robin helping when she was on with Snow for a while, and now Melinda. I mean, we've had some great guests on. I've only had a couple assholes, and I even had one guy hang up on me just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, he said you haven't done your research, so I'm out of here.
Yeah, and this motherfucker wrote books. He wrote books about Salem, and I was asking him about Salem and the witch trials and all that shit, and this motherfucker said I hadn't done my research, and I'm like, yes, the fuck I have.
And then he had the audacity to say, well, what kind of show is this? And I so much wanted to say, well, didn't you do your research?
Are you fucking shitting me? I would have been like, okay, oh my God. I can't believe somebody would do that. What's his name?
Oh, hang on. I'll have to pull it up. Let me look.
He was a real dick.
I don't want to follow him if he's a dick like that. Like, if somebody does books, they need to fucking talk about their books. That's how you sell books. And if I hear you being an asshole, unless you're goddamn Stephen King, you fucking need to pimp your books out. You know what I'm saying?
His name is Sam Boctorus. How do you say his last name? Boctorus?
I've never heard of him before.
He wrote the book Ghost of Salem.
Oh, Lord.
Haunts of the Witch City.
Mm-hmm.
He also wrote the 13 Most Haunted Hotels and Inns in New England.
Okay.
I mean, I just couldn't believe the guy, because I told him, I wanted to talk about Salem. He's like, okay. And when I started asking him questions about Salem and all, he's like, where did you get these questions from? Did you Google them? I'm like, no. I actually watched documentaries and stuff about Salem to get the questions.
Uh-huh.
I spent like 4 hours watching, getting research on this shit, and this motherfucker, you do your research?
Listen, Rodney, I tell you what. Next time you have somebody that wants to talk about Salem, I have been there 3-4 times, and I think it's a mecca for all witches, just because we get to see what ignorance can do. Seriously, it really was. And, you could see how these people were persecuted. They have the stones there. I've been to the stuff. You ever need somebody to step in and, talk with you on this, I'm more than welcome to. I mean, I'll set in with y'all for,
all right.
If you ever need something like that.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, because
wrote a book about it, and I figured he wanted to talk about it.
He should have wanted to talk about it. That's how you sell books. That's how you talk to people about it. Anybody who I follow or I've met in Salem, well, okay. Lord, I don't want to put this out there, but I will tell you there is a hush-hush amongst the psychics and witches and things there. Sometimes I think there might be a underground something, because we got pulled aside on one of the streets one time by one of the readers, and she was very hush-hush. She was like, I can't really talk to you, but let's follow each other, and I will support y'all, but I can't. I think that they're supposed to be very closed-lipped about certain things. I do understand that. I think that there is an underground of certain things there. And I do believe there's turfs, okay? I mean, come on. If you got that many psychics in one area, I do know how you go about being a psychic there. We were advised to do it so that we could read in Halloween there. I do know those kind of things, but sometimes they do get closed-lipped about certain things, and that's just the different covens and things like that. But that is normal. You know that, Melinda. That's what I am, too. Sometimes I don't want to talk. I got asked by a lady who was, their high priestess or whatever, in her little coven, I guess. She said she was one of the oldest witches and da-da-da-da. But she said, do you have a coven? And I turned around really quickly, and I said, do you have a coven? Because I get really aggressive, because I don't want, even though, I share and stuff when people, if I'm trying to educate. And she asked me that question, and I turned really quick on her, and she said, yes, I do. I'm the oldest, da-da-da-da. And she let me know her credentials, and I was like, oh, okay. And then she helped us a lot. And then that's the one was, here's how you read here, and this is how you do. So I would love, next time you have a Salem person that's like a douche, I would love to come on and talk to them. Not that I'm an expert, but I think that when you go there and you are on the other side of things rather than an author, but you're actually experiencing, I think that you could talk to them. Melinda, have you been there?
No, I haven't, and it's definitely on my bucket list. That and
New
Orleans.
God, hey. Oh, God, we're going to New Orleans. We are? Okay, I've been to New Orleans. Woo, honey, that is a dirty underground energy that is, oh, my God. Me and Ashley went down there, and we were like, we want to move here now. We'll do anything we can just to live here. There's a lot of different, because of that kind of energy, it does draw some negative stuff that you got to be careful of. Salem is a different energy, honey. That runs underneath, it's like a vein, but it's
Love to.
Yeah, it's like a New Orleans is dirtier, which is, I like it, the grittiness. Like, you could feel it, all the different cultures and stuff. Salem is more of a, I don't want to say pure, but it's more of a softer, sweeter current than, and I know there's probably darker parts up there too, but New Orleans is darker. I don't want to say dirty and dark as in bad, but it's more of a down south, you know what I'm saying? It's like a dirtier one, but you're drawn to it very much so. You could feel the energy down there. It's awesome, and I can't wait to go back now that I've opened up more, because when me and Ashley went, we were still on the paranormal side of things, so I'm really excited about that. But I will tell y'all, Salem Con is happening. If you ever want, I mean, I think the tables are like $100, and the con, I can't remember, it's either 1 or 2 days, but it's a reason to go to Salem Con, honey. We went for, I think, 2 years. This will be our third if we go back. And then me and Ashley have made a couple trips up there ourselves. So y'all should try to get, Rodney, you should try to get in up there. Y'all can go up there and, like, hubbub and talk to people at the con and stuff.
Yeah, I'd like to try to. I'd like to go to a couple cons this year.
Are you going? You got any on the books?
Well, I'd like to go to Scarefest. I've been trying to do that for the past 2 or 3 years, and I think I want to do it this year, if everything goes as planned.
You should put in to be a speaker.
I know. You need to tell me how to do that again. I forgot how.
Okay. We fill out our application. I don't know if we'll get – we've been going. We love Scarefest. We really do. Last year we bought tables. We did pretty good. But this year we put in to be speakers too. God willing, we'll be speakers. But if not, we still probably will go, and we really like it. So.
Well, if you could let me know how to put in to be a speaker, I'd like to do that. And like I said, I'd like to go to a couple of them this year in Salem. I'd really like to go up there to that.
Gosh, I would love nothing
But,
more.
you know, the thing is with that guy when we was interviewing, he's also a paranormal investigator, and he gives tours of Salem. And, you know, I was talking about Salem first, and, you know, he kept wanting to talk about paranormal. And I told him, you know, he just asked out of the blue. He's like, "Have you got any paranormal questions for me?" I said, "Well, yeah, actually I do." And then when I started asking him the first question about paranormal, that motherfucker said, "Well, you ain't done no research on me," and just hung up.
He said, "I don't have time for this."
Yeah, I don't have time. Hung up and unfriended me and then blocked me.
You know what? That's called a goddamn ego is what that's called. And I don't know what it is, and God, I hope people on the paranormal side don't hate me for this, because I am still a paranormal lover. Don't get me wrong, I'm still in that. I love the people I've met in the paranormal, but the ones I've ran into lately that aren't old school, that aren't like us, Rodney, that's been in it for like 10 years. Holy shit, we have been in it 10 years, haven't we? Holy shit. Like mainstream in it, like the whole group and thing, not... We were doing things before that. I know you were, and me and Ashley were, but as in legitimate groups, it's been at least 10 years. And when we came up, everybody was learning, and we were watching Ghost Hunters, and that was the first time I was coming around. Now, these young groups, it's like they have this ego. Like, I met a couple groups lately, and I'm like, wow, where'd this ego come from? Like, I don't know what that is. Have you encountered that, Rodney?
No, so far I haven't run into it, thank goodness, because I'll tell them all.
Well, I ran into a group one time when we were talking, and they were like, because we were the Southern Gypsies, they knew that we were psychics and tarot card readers and blah, blah, blah. And they didn't know anything about us, so they were sitting in one of our speeches, and they were back there, and they had all their equipment and blah, blah, blah. They weren't listening to us. And Holly said, hey, they put in a film at Scarefest. And I looked at them, and I said, oh, y'all put in we put in a film at Scarefest, because me, Holly, Ashley, and Josh Bender did. And they were like, oh, yeah. And I said, did you win? They were like, no, you didn't get a winner. I said, really? Because we won the documentary. And they look like I had to throw my paranormal dick out, and I didn't want to, but they were assholes. And I was just like, you need to realize that the people that are in front of you are not, like, you just assume because I sit here with tarot cards or I say I'm a psychic now that I don't understand what you've been through. you know? So, yeah, I don't think they really like that. Or I started talking about experiments and stuff like that, and their heads popped up, and I'm like, oh, I see you looking now, you know? And I hate that when they hear a psychic and stuff. But on the other aspect of it, I was like that too, though. You know, when I was hardcore paranormal, I was like, I don't trust nobody. I don't trust these psychics. Cool thing is, though, now on this side of it, if you are a fake, this is the cool thing, is it? I don't know if you know this, Melinda, you probably do, but they have, when kin sees kin, so when I meet somebody and I know they're gifted, I could feel it. I could feel that they've locked into it.
Oh, yeah.
If I have a psychic there going crazy and saying this and that and other, and I can't feel her, I know she's faking. And that's kind of sad, and I have never said that out loud before. But do you know what I'm saying, Melinda?
Oh, absolutely. I spot them a mile away. Especially, I'm like, who are you trying to convince, me or yourself?
Exactly. And the sad thing is, though, is I came across one recently that has broke my heart. And I never wanted to put my feelers out to figure it out. And when I did, I was just like, actually, I came across a couple of them, actually. And I was just like, I wish I hadn't done this. Because when you read with people, it's a different sharing. I can get read by somebody and know more about them than they ever knew I could know. Because as a reader, you're always a reader. So as they're reading me, they don't understand, but I can read them too. So there's that aspect of it. And also just the exchange too. So if I'm reading for somebody, I can feel them. You understand what I'm saying? So I feel them. It's the weirdest shit that I could ever explain to you, but I can tell you whether they're true or not. So it's kind of sad, but and it upsets me, and I never say anything about it. I'll never, ever say who this is, because that's not my place to do that, you know? And maybe they're going to link up with some energy I can't touch, so maybe that's why I don't feel it. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is, you know?
I call them the Halloween witches.
Yes. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Or did you see where Sephora or whatever was going to come out with the starter witch kit? Oh, my God.
That was...
So many... Say it again, honey.
You talking about the little pink kit with the crystals and all
that? Yes, and oh my God, so many witches stood up and was like, "This is bullshit. If I came up with a Christian starter kit, y'all would hate it."
It really pissed me off. I don't like stuff like that, because you know it's a lifestyle. It's who you are. It's not something. It's not like a pair of damn shoes. You don't try them on for a while and then decide to go somewhere else.
Right, exactly. And, you know, the thing of it is if we all just stopped and didn't have, you know, these books and stuff like that, we'd all be witches. We all would. It is in our nature. How we connect with nature and things like that, that's how we're built to do. Plain and simple. But because of all these different religions and how the path chooses, then that's what they choose, and that's great for them. But you don't have to chastise people. But I will tell you something. When they stopped that, they didn't bring that out. And all these, like, pages that I follow, like, which is Instagram, pagans of Instagram, all this other stuff, they were like, look what we can do when we put all of our power together, ladies. And they were all excited that that did not come out, by the way. None of that came out.
It got shut down real quick.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. The cool thing is I think there is so many witches out there that people don't even know as witches. And it's funny. Like, if you see me and Ashley out, you're not going to think we're witches. I mean, if we're just goofy and stuff like that, and we got our cowboy boots on and stuff like that, you would never think that of us. Now, if I dress in my garb of completely black, which I love, because black is... The reason why witches is dressed in black and stuff like that is because black is power. Black is protection also. So you will always see a witch wear a lot of black. I wear a lot of black because if I'm going somewhere, it's like my power suit because I'm protected in that. And I know that's crazy, but we do use colors, just like the lipstick, you know?
Mhm. You know, when I'm a high priestess and I teach paganism, I try to get, you know, the newer people that are on this path. I try to get them to be more connected with Earth and with nature, and the ones that have had children, I try to explain to them. I said, you know, Mother Earth quickens. You know, right now when Imbolc comes, it's the middle of the winter and it's starting the Earth is starting to quicken where the seeds are pushing up, It's the same thing as when you have that life in your body and you feel that first movement.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to get them to understand that's the connection that women have with Mother Earth. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. That's why we're more spiritual too. I'm sorry, I have something in my mouth. Because we have, even as that, like Mother Earth, things like that. That all the different stages is what we do as the Maiden, Mother, and Crone. That's our stages. That's like the moon and stuff. All of that is connected. The thing of it is the reason why I think some men don't connect is because way back when, men were the providers. They have that intuitive part too, but they've shut it off for so long because they've had to be the hunters, things like that. Us as women, we've had to know when something's wrong. We've had to connect with the earth. We were making shit to make sure that they were safe in our home. Like we were going out and getting those roots and those herbs and things like that to make sure that our family was taken care of. That's the same thing as, that's a witch, that's a healer, that's a grainy woman. So we're just doing what we're born to do. And now society society decided. But have you noticed since there's TV programs that have came out, such as The Coven and things like that, there are people, like you said, Halloween witches left and right that have popped up. But also, I like that it's okay. It's not okay, but it seems like you're seeing more of that to where we're able to acknowledge that, this is our sister, or this would be our sister. You see what I'm saying? I like that, but I also don't like the people who are jumping on the bandwagon. I don't believe that it should just be a bandwagon,
Yeah, no. I'll be glad when that part kind of dies out. You know what I mean? It's like everybody,
I do.
It's like everybody's into Stevie Nicks now. I've loved her since the first time I listened to her. She needs to go ahead and come out of the closet. I don't know,
I don't know if she ever will, though. You know that, right?
Yeah, I think I think she's more of the Italian witch.
You think so? The struggle. What are they called? The struggle.
Yeah, the struggle.
Yeah, like I've only I've told you the story of the one I came across, and I'm not pulled towards that at all. I don't go that path at all. They have different things, and I don't know. If I got more into it and I studied it more, I might be pulled more toward it. I do know that they're powerful. But you know what? That's not to say that anybody could be powerful in what they pull from, as long as they hone their craft and they do the best that they can with it, It's the intent that they put behind it. But yeah, I kind of, I don't know. I don't know what she is. I just know that, she's spiritual, and I love it when people are just like, I'm spiritual. Those type of people that are like that, I'm cool with those people because they'll roll with anything. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Well, Misty, I appreciate you coming on the show. We went
You're
over
welcome,
a little bit.
honey.
That's fine. But I do want to know, ask you, what y'all's plans or what your plans for 2019, any projects, anything that you're working on that you can talk about. And also, how can people get a hold of you, whether it's website, Facebook, or Instagram, and so forth?
Oh, my Lord. Okay. First of all, my plans for 2019, I'm going to put it out in the universe. The fucking Southern Gypsies on the goddamn TV. I'm going to throw that out there.
Congratulations.
There you go. Yeah. But also, we got a lot of, I tell you what, we've already started a calendar for this year. We are trying every month to have at least one event at the Nickerson Sneed, just because that's our home base. And we know, like in October, things like that, we'll be traveling more. We travel more then because that's when the haunted house comes in. But we have at least one event there every month, and you can catch us there. You can look up on Facebook, the Nickerson Sneed House. I think they have a website also. But you can also look up Instagram. We are The Southern Gypsies. On Facebook, it's Southern Gypsies. We have a website. It is thesoutherngypsies.org. And let me see, Instagram, Facebook. If you have to get in touch with anybody, you're more than welcome to get in touch with the Nickerson Sneed also, because it'll be routed back around. we're going to be hitting some cons. We're put in for, I don't know if we're going to be speaking at Scarefest, but we might be making it, coming back around because we did good there last year. Let's see, what other cons? I'm trying to think. Oh, we're going to be at Transworld. It is a large con. I think it's for, like, haunted houses, things like that. Very, very massive. We're going to New Orleans, man. One of our dear friends, she actually has invited us down, and we're able to stay at her house. And we've actually been invited. I saw a screenshot she sent Holly, and her name is Amy Green, by the way. We love her dearly. She's part of the RIP investigations team. Love those guys. Anyway, so we're going down to New Orleans. We're probably going to try to go back to Salem Con. Mike Reckerschnecker. Have you ever had him on your show, Rodney?
No.
Okay, he's with Haunted Road Media or some shit? That's a great guy. You should have him on, Rodney. I might hook y'all two up. He is having a haunted con June 1st, I think it is, Haunted Road Media or something like that. He goes all over the place, Rodney. He is great, very intelligent. He's hung out with us. His woman, she's I'm not going to bust her out, but she's one of us. She's a kin. Great guy. That might be a good guest for you, Rodney. He's awesome. I love him to pieces. He has his own radio show and wrote many books that he would be glad to talk to you about. I'm trying to think of, I know we're probably going to go back to a couple of different places, like that place down in Florida we went down. I think they're going to have another con there, but we haven't really heard. So if you want the Southern Gypsies at your con, at your event, you're more than welcome to get in touch with us. Like I said, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, and then we have our individual pages too, the Connor Sisters. That is on Instagram and on Facebook. We also have Sisters of Salem, S.O.S, Sisters of Salem Paranormal Society. That is on Facebook. And we also have websites, sistersofsalem.com. We have theconnorsisters.com. And then, of course, we got the southerngypsies.org. So I think that's about it, Rodney. And if you want a good time, 1-800-Ashley likes big dick.
I'm sure she's going to appreciate that.
I know, she'll be like, God.
Yeah, Ashley's looking.
But yeah, I think that's about it, Rodney. I think I covered everything, and I hope we get to see y'all at some cons, damn it.
Well, I'm going to try to. I'll try to do a little bit more this year since I'm feeling a little bit better.
Yeah, keep yourself healthy, by the way.
I'm trying. I'm hitting that 1 year mark, and I haven't caught the flu or pneumonia or nothing yet.
You better knock on some damn wood, Rodney.
Beating the shit out of it.
I'm serious. Get Melinda to fix you up a health mojo bag. Always keep it with you.
A health what?
Mojo bag.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get her to do it if she don't mind.
I don't mind.
Do I need to give you anything?
She probably hook you up. She probably hooks you up more than you know. She probably
does.
She probably does. Seriously. She's probably like, well, I got to take care of Rodney, so let me do this and this.
Yeah.
I tell you what, there's a meme that says if you've encountered a woman and you can't get her off your mind, she's a witch. I'm telling you, guys. You know, I told somebody today, I said, you better stop talking to me. You're going to fall in love. Just go on and stop now. I told you I'm trying to get that sexy back, Rodney. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah.
And that's like not the same thing as having sex, Rodney. That's just having sexuality. God darn men.
I know.
All right. Well,
I appreciate you so much.
I love you guys.
Thank you
for having me on.
Oh, you're more than welcome. You come on anytime you want, and tell Ashley we love her too, and sorry that we missed her. And we might try to come back on sometime instead of just the first of the year, later in the year, and talk about Salem, because I really want to get into Salem.
Yeah, I think. Okay, listen, I think it's like from March or April, one of those. It's early. So I just messaged one of the ladies because the wives of the men, I like to talk to them because they are beautiful women, and they're right there working with the guys and stuff. A lot of people will talk to the guys and they'll be like, oh, I like to talk to the ladies because I know they're putting in just as much work. But I got in touch with one of the wives the other day. She said they still had spaces. It was $100, and she was hoping that we could come back. So we are definitely going to try to go back. I'm not 100%. Say it again, Rodney.
What's it called again?
Salem Con.
Salem Con.
Mhm.
And
it's beautiful.
On the 19th, what time are you guys starting that?
Oh, thank you, honey. On the 19th, Nickerson Sneed, that's January 19th, we are doing 12 to 6. And we are excited. Like I said, I'm offering a New Year's read so that we could go through all the months together and stuff like that. Or you can have the regular, which is the Celtic Cross, which is, the one that I mainly do. So that is what we're offering, and we're going to have healings and stuff like that. So, yes, 12 to 6, honey. Thank you very much for reminding me.
Okay. Well, Misty, I appreciate it.
I love y'all bunches and bunches. If you ever need me, seriously, I'm going to throw this out there. If you ever need me to be a co-host for either one of y'all, you just let me know, or slap me in there with both of y'all or whatever. You let me know, okay?
Oh, we'll do, and I appreciate that. We really do.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Well,
I love y'all, guys. I'll talk to y'all later.
Okay, love you too. Bye-bye.
Love you, sis. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Well, I want to thank Misty, for coming on the show. Have nothing but love and respect for her and Ashley. They do a great job. And hopefully we can get them back here soon, and we'll talk about the Witches of Salem, which I'm always fascinated about. So coming up for next week on June, January. What was I saying, June?
Because she mentioned June a few minutes ago.
Jesus, got me all messed up. January 10th would be Renzo Martinez. Renzo is an investigative journalist and an Amazon best-selling author of Stay Away from the Libertarians. He also has a show called The Witching Hour, which looks to put in the investigator back into the paranormal investigator. I want to thank everybody again, for staying with us tonight, and hope everyone has a happy New Year and a safe weekend, and everyone have a good night.
Good night, everyone.
Can you do it in my special way I like?
Good night, everyone.
Oh, I love it when she does that. I wish the damn thing quit dinging. That's it for us tonight. I want to thank everyone that took the time to listen in. I'd like to give a big shout out to the Vibe Radio Network and to Ryan for putting up with us. Also to all the first responders and our men and women in the armed services, thank you for your service and the sacrifices that you and your families make every day to keep our great nation safe. Tune in next week to another exciting show starting at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Everyone can go to our Facebook page Within the Chaos, and don't forget to like our page to see upcoming guests along with past shows, postings, or you can also go to my website at www.blackdiamondps.org or blogtalkradio.com/Vibe Radio Network. Also, we have a YouTube channel, so go to YouTube, look up Within the Chaos for past shows. Thanks again. Until next week, everyone have a safe weekend and have a good night. And love you all. Be careful out there.
I'm sorry. But I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world, there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent, and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in men, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world, millions of despairing men, women, and little children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, or what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men, machine men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world, that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite!